Hi, my name is Courtney Davis, and I'm a student at UWA in the EDS and Instructional Leadership Program. And this is my IL 658 signature project. It's based on my school, where we were improving the reading achievement of Pleasant Grove Elementary School students. It's the table of contents, and it has more than 11 slides, and we're going to go through them talking about what my signature project was on. So the PGS stands for Pleasant Grove Elementary School. And circumstances over the years have been as follows. We've seen consistent years of low student reading achievement and academic performance when it comes to reading. Another thing we've done is what we're seeing over in the student data is large percentages of students scoring below the Jefferson County School District. In comparison to what we scored from pre-K, or from K to 6th grade, and what Jefferson County as a school district scored, we were at the bottom of the charts, and we wanted to get better on that. Another thing was kindergarten and first grade students at Pleasant Grove Elementary School. They scored very low on their DIBELS compared to Jefferson County School Districts as well, and other surrounding schools. And the last thing we saw in the circumstances over the years was that the PGES students in grades 3 through 6, they were scoring overall, when it comes to their reading and summative assessments, they were scoring much lower than the Jefferson County School District as a whole. The issue at hand, reading achievement, basically it was one of our students' indicators, and reading and math is our indicator. So we want to hone in on that. We met over the summer with our SILT team, our Continuous Improvement Leadership team, and one of the crucial indicators, or critical indicators, that we really wanted to focus on as one of our initiatives was reading. A greater percentage of our kindergarten and first grade students that took the M-Class 8th edition DIBELS, they were really scoring below benchmark at 2 different points, well below or below in proficiency of reading, and that's one of the things we wanted to hone in on. There's another need for stronger quality instruction when it comes to reading and literacy, and these are some of the things that we want to hone in on as well. And our tiered instruction, we want to make sure our tier 1 babies were getting whole group, but basically really focusing in on our tier 2 and tier 3 students to push them up higher to that tier 1. The study also attempts to find ways for educators and administrators as a whole in the district, and especially at our school, to increase the quality of reading and literacy instruction in the first and second and kindergarten level. So why the students' reading achievement is so important, we all know by third or fourth grade, if students don't know how to read, it makes their academic performance really go down at an all-time low. Another thing that we're getting ready for and that we see in the future coming in the 2021-2022 school year is the Alabama Literacy Act. And our kids are not just taking the ACAP summative assessment, but also the literacy assessment, which will start in the 3rd grade this year. We wanted to make them ready for that. Also, the students must be proficient in their reading skills. So this is why we honed in on reading and literacy as a critical initiative. And last thing is, because the goal of our critical initiatives at PGES were focused on reading, I believe that further research was needed by my action research team, including me as the head, to be carried out, especially analyzing the low reading achievement and also over the literacy in our students. Best practices for improving student reading achievement. I have 4 things I wanted to hone in on, and they are right here. Number 1, providing teachers with the needed professional development. That was key. Number 2, implementation of the curriculum changes within teacher instruction. And 2 of those curriculum changes were going to be M-Class DIBELS edition, because they had a new edition, the 8th edition, and also iReady when it comes to reading assessments and their diagnostics. And these are adaptive learning paths to make sure that kids are going at their own pace, but really improving throughout the year. The 3rd one is the supervision of the curriculum changes, and that was done by myself and my head principal, Ms. Lewis, also our ARI reading coach and our interventionist, as well as teachers. And the last one is evaluating the PGES students' assessment data when it comes to M-Class and iReady. Literature review, I had really a great time studying the literature when it comes to reading. I know that reading is the foundation of everything, and if kids can really get better in their reading, they can do anything. Strategies implemented to increase reading achievement. One of the things I wanted to hone on was when we reduce the stress associated with reading, we can see that students become excited and reading, learning accelerates. for them. And another thing under there was that reading material and activities should be very attractive to students. So that's why we were intentional with our teachers about choosing libraries in their classrooms that looked like our kids. We wanted to make it inclusive from all cultures. Providing support for families, that was one of our another critical initiatives, and aids for students in improving their achievement. And one of the things that I found in my literature was that reading dedicated to time at home with parents and their students increased their reading. Another thing is differentiated instruction to address the reading achievement of exceptional children. We didn't want to leave our ExCED children out. So one of the things we honed in was that research outcomes basically suggest that reading instruction, traditional reading instruction, into programs like phonics and phonemic awareness, or Phonics First, which was one of our implementations, it saw that it would lead to an increase in independent reading skills. And one more thing that we really learned or honed in on was blended learning, because this year was like no other with a COVID pandemic. And blended learning basically was technology offers a platform to deliver instruction into kids on an individual learning path, like iReady does that, and Edmentum that we use in our school. And through that, data can be gained to our teachers. And we are a school that is driven by instruction or data. Predicted signature outcomes. One of the things that I wanted to hone in on was that if we had consistent strategic Phonics First implementation by our teachers in kindergarten and first grade, our kids would score higher on their DIBELS. And then that would be in the components of phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. And then also we want to improve the quality of literacy instruction and reading instruction of our teachers in first, second, and kindergarten, so that they would be more proficient in their reading skills and be ready for the ACAP summative assessment and the Alabama Literacy Act assessment when it was coming in this upcoming year. Signature project action plan components. We wanted to hone in on all these 4 different things: professional development, and that was Phonics First, M-Class, and iReady. Curriculum changes. We wanted to make sure that the kids were getting this implemented by their teachers, which was M-Class program and their instructional tools with DIBELS, and then also the adaptive iReady assessment tool. And they were to spend so many minutes on it within a school week. And even at home as well, they logged that. Materials and times to make it change. The time was from September to May 2021, and then the progress monitoring pieces of M-Class and on iReady really helped our teachers assess what they needed to do to help those students. Quality reading instruction, that was monitored by the administration as well as our ARI specialists and our interventionists to see if teachers were really doing it at a pace where kids were getting it consistently. And supervision of the changes, that was done by 4 components, the administration, teachers, ARI specialists, our reading coach, and basically the interventionists of our school. Signature project action plan steps, it was 3 steps I took. And the step 1 was providing professional development and training to our faculty. And that was given through many different ways. We did one on tiered instruction, did one on M-Class and iReady, did one on the Phonics First instructors to build our teachers that were just coming into our Jeff Co-Ed system to be more stronger teachers when it comes to Phonics First. Step 2, we wanted to make sure that we were intentional about monitoring the teachers' incorporation and implementation of Phonics First. So we checked lesson plans, we did walkthroughs, we did evaluations, formal and informal. And they also used the Jefferson County lesson plan template to make sure that they were incorporating Phonics First in there, which it gives them a template to use. And the step 3 was making sure that we were intentional about actually inspecting what we expect, and that was the implementation of these programs that we provided professional development for on M-Class and iReady testing data. The timeline, as you can see, it spanned from September 2020 and May 2021. And we began with the end in mind. Basically, we started back in July during the summer months because we already knew we were going into a new year that was crazy. But we wanted to go in August, we did the CIP summer planning. September, we did M-Class DIBELS training, also Phonics First and iReady training. And then in January, when we came back, we did the Science of Reading training led by our ARI specialists and our interventionists. And then September through May, you can see that it's the implementation of all of these parts of the signature project. And then in April, In February, we had the SILT mid-year review, and we had a summer SOAR program as well. Evaluation of this project was done through the fall, the winter, and spring in iReady and M-Class data. And that was done through walkthroughs, evaluations, and takeaways. We left glows and grows. The results of the project, you can see that our kids did make gains on M-Class and iReady. Through consistent use, we could see through analyzation of the data that our kids spent more time in our classes, spent more time on it, they actually grew more. Next steps, we want to make sure that we continue this year, starting with more Phonics First and iReady and M-Class, DBLS assessment training for our teachers that we are bringing in this year. And also, I'm going to propose to our Action Research team that we continue professional development when we are integrating the critical initiatives of improving literacy and reading instruction. And that is my references from the Signature Project, and I hope you all enjoy it.